question of the initiative that we have. It's a question of how we are leveling the platform, how we are creating a conducive environment for this to happen. So, Burkina Faso, you have Thomas Sankara, who came in the country that was heavily indebted, and he took 2 years to change it. 2 years. Thomas Sankara changed Burkina Faso. And even the name, it was a different name. And it became Burkina Faso. It's a question of initiative, it's a question of strength, it's a question of, dedication. If 7, 10, 20, 30 people in the country decide to look at things and say, this is what we need to do, if we learn from our mistake, all of us, and they now say thousands of people are in the street, what do we do? We must concentrate around that. We must be, we must appreciate why we exist. And I can guarantee you that unless the mindset of our people do not want to do the right thing, Vision 2030 is near. But if the mindset of our people are ready to change and make right things at all times, and with the education that we have, a lot of doctors that we have in the country must not just be doctor of title. Professor that we have must exercise the knowledge that we have learned. The government have invested a lot in us to study. We must not just put the pen here. We must now go to the area, out to the community, and find the solution, find the problems, develop analysis, do analysis, develop solutions, and get things moving.
Indeed. So
Dinapama is ready to make its contribution to Vision 2030.
Very good.
Yes.
So you spoke about the union, your time in the unions, and I want to change the gear a little bit. The unions, David, have been, I see guys like yourself in the unions, and then you take off very well economically. Ranga Haikali, same story. Peter Nevanga is still with the unions, but doing very well. The unions, are they a gateway to some sort of, do you guys get some sort of advantage, maybe unfair advantage even, ahead of others in accessing resources for all the country?
Okay. Well, I come a long way, and I have heard that story that you are saying a lot.
Yeah.
I ask people to say, now, when I remain at the union, I will be called Kamuzombanda. Kamuzombanda, a person who do not want to leave the place, he wants only to occupy it. So now, I want to ask the nation, where must we be?
Yeah.
So when you are at the union, you will not, we have terms.
Yeah.
Like me, I was elected. I have never worked for the union, by the way. I have just provided leadership. I work for Kalahari Says, I went to work for RCC, then I come to Dinapama. That's where I worked. So now, do you now want us to be where? So, and when workers send us to the union to represent them, they send us a delegate.
Yeah.
What did they find?
Yeah.
There is something that they found. We were many workers at the hotel, and some were elected to be shop steward. There is something that workers have seen to say, this one must help us to do this, this one must help us to do this. Now, you are in your space. The media space is your space. You are taking advantage of the space because you have the knowledge that you acquire. You become the guru of the industry because you practice this thing every time and then. Now, when we negotiate, when we are learning how to negotiate, so we are learning when we are negotiating on wages and other benefits as workers. We are also, the skills and the knowledge that we have to negotiate. For example, if you have a company, you negotiate with transporter, you negotiate with supplier. You just do a negotiation. That's your area of specialization. So now,
so is it coincidence or is it by design that, in your case, for example, you were involved with NAFAO in the Ramatex negotiations? As soon as Ramatex left, you came to occupy that very space. I suppose you saw an opportunity during your negotiation time. In the case of Ranga, He was just, I think, with MUN.
He was with the NENW
Yeah.
as a Secretary General.
Yeah. So they were involved with TCL, the negotiations and what. Later, we hear Ranga is actually a co-owner in Ongopolo that has replaced TCL. Is that by coincidence or is it by design?
Well, Toivo, I will not be able to talk on behalf of Langa.
Of course, yeah.
What I can tell you is just that, you know, people must allow, we do not, you see, we are not saying we take advantage of anything.
Yeah.
But when you learn things, use the skills,
Yeah.
the knowledge that you have, without taking advantage or making use of other people's resources. That's not what we are saying.
Yeah.
But your capacity as a human being, where must you be? What must you do? When you are able to do things, do them. Learn things and do them. We are from that college. We call it NUNW Center at Mungunda Street. Is a workers' college. Is where we learn things. And when we learn things, we must use them.
Yeah.
Why must we learn strategies, you know, and the plans, and we don't utilize them for the benefit of the nation? So now, my involvement in Ramatex, Dinapama was actually, is a company that was created by revenge. We revenged. We felt bad that workers were dumped. And we must bring solution to them. Ongopolo was also created as a result of the closure of TCL. So, and as such, it's reviving to say, let we get the workers back. The aim, we must also look at the bigger picture, the aim. Now, when the workers were brought back and they get a job, is that not a good thing?
Yeah.
So now, if Langa, for example, who was part of the negotiation, and the people said, okay, now you were part of these negotiations, so you know why this company was created, become a director.
Yeah.
Now, if he is a director, and directors have got director's fee, he must not get it.
I hear you.
Yeah. So I mean, let us be fair.
Yes.
We must just only avoid taking resources of people and using it for you as a person.
Yes.
That we do not condone.
Yes.
But being a participative citizen, active citizen in activity on the basis of the knowledge and the basis of your ability, the competence that you have, let we allow that. But we must not allow any other thing as opposed to that.
Exactly.
Yes.
Very last question to you, Dave. Air Namibia, they were closed down essentially this week. Decision taken by the government, 600 people sent home, and there's a lot of anger. As a private citizen observing these developments, as a former person who formerly fought for jobs and stuff like that, what is your position on this matter? Do you think it was time really that we regulated this company, or did you think that it should have been handled differently?
Well, it is a very complicated matter.
Yeah.
And I have no internal knowledge as to really why.
Yeah.
We are hearing from outside all the time that the company is making losses.
Yeah.
I have just told you here that professors, the doctors, the PG, AGD holders, and many other people that we have, and the business people,
Yes.
let us employ our thinking.
Yes.
Because the competitiveness that I'm telling you, productivity analysis that we are talking about, it have what is called added value, pay employee should be positive.
Yeah.
Then he said, total cost pay employee, pay production should not be higher than the added value per employees. Then we have what is called total cost per employee should have a declining growth. That's the formula. Now, when the expenditure is above the income, it becomes a problem. But it is not a problem of an ordinary worker. It's a problem of a guy who is paid to ensure innovation, a guy who is paid to think. We need to employ our strategy. We need to appreciate that the money that we're spending us to go and study, to understand and specialize in the field. We need to apply. Actually, management and the people that are in charge actually must be held accountable, because we need to manage institutions for the benefit of the people. Because now innocent people are sent home. But the reason is saying it's not affordable. It's not sustainable. Now, where is our innovation? Where is our strategy? Where is our systems that we must employ to ensure that we create a sustainable environment? We need to start. That's why I was saying to you, Toivo, at the beginning here, to say, we as the people in this country, even the people that are retrenched, we must learn to work, concentrate and pay attention. If you are a supervisor, supervise the people. When I was talking to the workers at Dinapama there, saying they are spending a lot of time in the toilet, everybody was writing, putting me on top of the newspaper, saying the unionists is now, people must work to earn a living. To have a sustainable enterprise, we must be able to perform. And to perform competitively, we must have targets, we must reach those targets. This thing of demanding things that we do not work for, we are just another thief. We are just stealing. You still, you don't add the value, you don't, how do you go to your bank account? When you go to your account now, Toivo, you will only withdraw less or equivalent to your deposit. When your deposit is less than the wish that you have to withdraw, it will tell you insufficient funds. So this formula is not complicated. So it is a pity that we have these guys that we are employing each other. We get on top of a position, and you only there to earn a salary, to earn a benefit, but your ability, your competence is not being challenged to change and make things to happen. Things must happen. When we sit here, all of this plan thing, when we sit here, is minds that have worked to set up this studio. So we only know, when we speak, it was just the MBC, and all of this innovation, they come here. So why are you innovating here? And they tell people, write in the newspaper, that people, challenge people. It's also the problem that we have also in our country, is that we do not focus in really telling each other the truth out there. We just blame. But we don't go there. Even these managers, all over, not only at Air Namibia, all over the country, we have managers that are failing. No one was taken for anything but a driver of a bus, when you bump a bus, you will be taken to a disciplinary hearing. But when you recklessly drive a company, they bump it beyond repair, no one will come to you. So now, why must you have a disciplinary hearing for a driver who bumped a bus and not even beyond repair? Beyond repair, you are going to be promoted again, get another job, and bump, roll that guy again, and continue.
Indeed.
How do we do that? We need to face each other as citizens. Sometimes people misunderstand others deliberately. To say, no, you see, my brother, my sister, you are employed to work. And you are paid to think. Think for payment.
Indeed. Dave, thank you very much for
coming. My brother.
I appreciate it.
Good.
That's Dave Namalenga. He is MD of Dinapama Manufacturing. A very proud Namibian story there of innovation and industrialization. He's speaking to us, of course, about Dinapama, the unions, and also offering his views on Air Namibia. Thank you for watching and enjoy your weekend.